Our CBN News financial editor, Drew Parkhill, is here with us now. First off, is there anything Biden and his administration can do?
It's kind of late in the game. They could have done a lot earlier. I mean, he was very clear during the campaign about his war on fossil fuels and so forth. So naturally, that did not help the price of oil, and that has not helped the price of gas. There are some in the energy community who believe that if we would get cracking, we could definitely bring the price of oil down. Releasing oil out of Strategic Petroleum Reserve, that's not what it's there for, and it doesn't really make that much difference. So he's really behind the curve now.
How bad is inflation today compared to 1981?
That's a very important question, Ephraim, because you always hear in the news that this is the highest in 40 years. The big difference is 40 years ago, a little over 40 years ago, inflation was coming down under Reagan. They had taken actions and were taking actions to really bring it down. One thing was the tax cuts helped strengthen the economy, which increased the supply of goods, so there were more things, so prices came down, as well as the Federal Reserve was taking action. Now, here's a big, big difference. Back then, Paul Volcker, who was the head of the Federal Reserve, raised interest rates above inflation. Now we have inflation running at 8.5%, okay, but interest rates are still down around 3%. So they got a long way to go. So that could be a really big problem if they have to raise rates that high. We don't know yet if they will, but if they do, that's very bad for the economy.
I know Janet Yellen is being conservative, but are things going to get worse, and is a recession on the horizon?
A recession is not guaranteed. It is a real possibility, however, if the Fed raises rates high enough. Now, there are a lot of ways things could get worse. We had a segment last week from our Prayer Link show, Pastor Joshua Giles, who said, and I watched the whole show, it was a terrific piece. In fact, I would recommend everybody in our audience go to the CBN News Channel app or on our website and watch that show from last Wednesday, Pastor Joshua Giles. The word the Lord gave him in 2015, that there was a virus coming. He talked about a time of shortages. And so Zelensky in Ukraine is warning about shortages, so it wouldn't hurt to have a little extra food on hand if you can afford it. To get, he said in a vision he walked into a grocery store and it was empty. So when I was walking through a grocery store, I was thinking, I wonder what this is going to be like, and then I watched that. So, you know, having some extra food just in case, that's not a bad idea, because we could go through a period of shortages and we could have a recession. It's not guaranteed, but it's a definite possibility, yes.
All right, something to watch indeed, Drew Parkhill. Always appreciate your insight. Thank you.